Is it on?
Yeah, it's on. So,
You sure?
I'm positive, yeah.
Oh.
So, most people, we don't know what people are thinking, but we assume most people think that we get along all the time, and that we're best of buds and nothing goes wrong and we don't complain or we don't get upset with one another. But we thought we'd give ourselves a little bit of personal time with the camera to share some of our feelings and struggles that we've had over these past 5.5 months?
It's so long.
So long, yeah. 5.5 months I think it's been. Just to get an inside view of things that, I don't know, we go through, and we think this is also a great marriage prep as well. We see this as learning how to solve problems or to let things go, and so you'll get an inside view of some of the struggles we have on our inner personal selves on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. But we'll just share it with the camera, not with each other, because that just brings up a lot of baggage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So this is only for your eyes at home.
Don't show Jason what I say.
Yeah. Please don't interfere. So I've chosen the sauna as my confessional, and I spent some time in here sweating out the excessive things of my life, physically, but also I think this is a time to sweat out a little bit of emotional and mental and some relational stress. And I think it's not a bad thing. If I find a way to compare it, it's like you have these really comfortable hiking boots, and you love wearing them. They feel great, but you just use them for weekend hikes. On weekend hikes, your feet are just loving them. You can go for hours and things are perfect. And that's kind of like our friendship. Bruce and I, we can hang out on weekends and days. Oh, it's just great. But one thing you discover is when you take those boots and you start hiking every single day, every single minute of the day for 5 months, something's bound to happen. Yeah, there'll be times where it's comfortable, but these little things that you never noticed before start pestering your feet, and at times they develop into a variety of sizes of blisters, and that's kind of what we're talking about today, is these little blisters.
Okay, my turn to share. I'm actually kind of excited. I don't know what Jason shared, so we'll see what happens. So I made a little list of things that I wanted to get off my heart to you guys.
One example. So sleepover is great. You love sleeping over, but it's not something you do very often. One thing I've noticed is Bruce usually sets his alarm early, and then the alarm goes off and wakes everybody up. Then he shuts it off and goes back to bed. A couple hours later, my alarm goes off. I get up, go downstairs, and he still sleeps. Why the alarm? What's the purpose? Just to wake up everybody? I don't get it. I feel sorry for his future wife, because she'll be getting up a lot.
First one, towels. Okay. So at the beginning of our time here, when we got here, we had some face cloths. And I was like, hey, there's 2 of them. I was like, how do we want to separate them? How do we want to do this? Jason's like, don't worry about it. I won't use either. Like, I got my own. I'm like, okay. But a month ago, I started noticing that I always neatly fold mine and put it back, and all of a sudden I realized it was kept on being unfolded. I'm like, something's up here. So I make sure I fold them extra neat. I think Jason's using my face cloth. Like, you know how many more times I need to wash my towels now? Like, come on, man. We can talk about this.
Oh, and if the alarm doesn't wake you up, his snoring definitely will. I've heard stories of people who snore and and the whole room shakes. And don't get me wrong, it's not that bad. But it's bad. It's bad enough that you can't fall asleep. So I have had to resort to the pillow whack across the face a few times. I remember one time in Austria where it was 3 or 4 or 5 direct, heavy-ish smacks to the face before he stopped. He didn't wake up, but it took a lot out of me. Smacking your friend in the face with a pillow when he's lying there innocently, but after a couple of minutes of snoring, you don't really think about the innocent part. You just kind of worry about yourself.
Second one is the tablecloth. Okay. If you scrunch a tablecloth up when it's wet, not a tablecloth, a washcloth. The washcloth. If you scrunch the washcloth up, it's gonna smell. Set it out nicely, put it there so it can dry and it won't smell. No worries. He's not doing it. It's frustrating. Every time we wash the table, it doesn't smell very good.
One thing too, when you eat every meal with somebody, you notice that Bruce just swallows loud. Like I can't even describe it. I can't even replicate it. It's just he's always swallowing. Who swallows that loud? Every single day, without even noticing it. I don't get it.
Okay. Jason makes a day plan. Okay. So I'm sitting there at 10:30. Jason Olsen comes up to me. He's like, "Okay, you ready to go?" I'm like, "Go where?" "We're going shopping." Like, what? Since when? Like, who made this decision? When did this come about? So, yeah. If he makes a day plan, he's got to let me know. You know, a little bit of communication.
And when we're working, there's this 4-stanza song that just comes up all the time. It goes like this: na 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 na, and that's it. That's all that is repeated over and over. And whenever he needs something like a go-to to keep his mind occupied, it'll come out and it'll start slow. It'll be really quiet, and it'll build and build and build. And then after about a month of me hearing this, I was interested. Bruce, what song is this? Why do you sing it all the time? He goes, "What song?" And I gave him the little clip that I just gave you, and then he was wondering as well. He has no idea what song that was. Apparently it's from some worship song, but that's the best you could do. Yet this is a song that comes out daily. Na 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 na. I could be washing dishes, he could be drying dishes, we could be making the floor, and he could be sawing. We could be driving, and then along with this song is leg buckles. So this camera's moving because my legs shaking back and forth. And can you imagine driving 200 kilometers? Actually, in total about 6,000 kilometers, with his leg like this, moving, the car buckling. 6,000 kilometers like this. It's always in the corner of your eye. Always there. It builds on you after a little while. Yeah.
Okay. Breakfast. So when we first started, we didn't have a breakfast plan or a breakfast schedule. We just kind of ate whenever, and I came in whenever I was done my devos. And then so Jason and I talked about it, and we're like, yeah, like, we'd like to do breakfast together, build some quality time with one another. And so we decided, okay, like 8:30, like, let's do breakfast. So I do my best to come in for 8:30. Now that I start coming in for breakfast at 8:30, I get in there and Jason's done half eating breakfast. Like, what? And then I start eating, and then he goes and he leaves. What's up with that? He wanted to do breakfast together, and now we don't even eat together.
Can't believe I almost forgot the hair. So, we've got a man whose hair untouchable. All right, you have to know that if you put your hand close to the head, it's in danger, because that's sacred ground. There's only one person only who can get near that hair, and that's Bruce. And I really don't know how or understand how this, which grows and then gets cut off, and then grows and then gets cut off, or falls out, or turns different colors, is so important. But time is spent to wash it, to condition it, to give it volume, and to to moisturize it so it doesn't get thirsty. Time is spent to stand in front of the mirror, and when the opportunity is there to blow dry, then it moves into the gelling process, where it is very carefully combed over, precisely along a specific line, and then gelled. And then from then on, nothing and nobody's allowed to touch it. I really don't understand. I think this is pretty practical. I mean, Bruce does a great job of cutting it too. But I wake up, sometimes take a shower, I'm done. What else you want? What else do you need? Yeah, I don't understand that. I think I just gotta give him time in the bathroom. I gotta make sure I get in there first, so I can get there in and out before he gets in there, cause then I'll be waiting. Yeah.
Okay. His sandals. He has two pairs of sandals. One pair is black with a Brazilian flag on each of them. He's lucky I haven't trashed them yet, but those are okay. I don't mind. He can wear those with pride. But the other ones, they leave these little black beads everywhere. And like when I wash the floor or like mop the floor, the mop never picks them up. And they just roll around the floor the whole time. Needs to get rid of those sandals. Not acceptable. Okay, so I brought two pairs of soccer shoes along, and they don't smell the best. So I put them outside our window so there wouldn't be an issue. We're on the 4th floor. Anyway, later that day, guess what happens? My shoes on the 4th floor were thrown down to the ground outside. One culprit, Jason. Okay, what else do we got here? So, I don't know how many of you know Jason that well, but sometimes you can be quite the silent guy. And, I'm sorry, Jason, I don't speak I speak with my mouth. Maybe sometimes too much, but still. That communication back and forth sometimes. Just really wish he'd, like, stick it out there and say it. Okay. Cooking. I guess for cooking I'm a little more of the artsy guy. I'll just throw a dash of this in, throw a dash of that in. And watching Jason cook is a real struggle for me sometimes, because it's always about the recipe. Instead of 3 carrots, we have 3 carrots left over. Our recipe says 2. Let's use 2. Like, who cares? Like, come on. Yeah, or just being spontaneous in cooking. Like, oh, what are you making? Be like, I don't know. Like, I'm just cooking. It'll come to me, you know. I can see how that can bother him too, though. How I just don't know what I'm making. Okay. Trying to think. What else, Jason? What else? You know what I'm convinced of? I'm convinced when Jason does laundry, he purposefully doesn't wash my clothes. Or tries to throw as few of my clothes in the wash as possible. I don't know why, but I'm convinced of this. It's a theory I have.
But it's not just the hair that takes up time in the bathroom, because he's also got dry skin. Something that he needs to moisturize all the time. So he's got his facial moisturizer along, also with his Vaseline. That does not leave his green Merce man purse that he carries with him all the time. Yeah, a man purse. He calls it a Merce, and he has Vaseline in it for his lips because they get chapped, and then he dries them, or he Vaselines them, because of the air, to keep it moist, so that his face doesn't dry out, because your body doesn't do that on its own. Yeah. Anyways, those are a few other things to watch out for. But it makes my life enjoyable to think about those things too. It brings me joy, so I can't complain too much. I get my joy from watching him.
I'm really excited of what he said. I really want to know. I just feel like there's a huge list. I'm sorry.
But you know, it's not all bad. We can laugh together about it. Actually, we haven't really talked about it. I'm not really sure how to put an end to this. Well, maybe just that we've done this for 5 months. We've held out. We've got 2 months left. We've got the midterm retreat coming up. I don't think we need to share these things with each other. I think I can hold out. I think this is more of a warning video to those out there who are thinking about spending time, extended periods of time together, but also specifically with Bruce. These are just things you have to be aware of. You have to know that he's going to set his alarm and not wake up. He's going to snore. He's going to buckle his leg the entire day. He's going to swallow, and he's going to do all of that while singing the same 4 lines over and over and over and over. And over again. Wait, I think I can hear him singing it right now.